Okay, we got a water spot. That's why part of home ownership, make sure you inspect your house constantly, especially in vacant rooms. But that just showed up. I noticed it last night. And if you don't have the abilities to fix it, then you have to hire someone to fix the problem so you don't have bigger problems. So I'll have to check. Now, I know I got a heating and air conditioning blower up in the attic. I don't think there's any water lines. Roof. So it's probably the roof, because we just recently had snow and ice. Or it's the heating and air conditioning, because I don't think there's a water problem. But step one is visual inspection. So I'm going to have to get up in the attic and check it out. Thumbs up, subscribe, follow the channel, and see what the problem is. All right, as we investigate this water leak, brown spot in the ceiling, I have to go in the attic. So remember, get that ceiling fan there, heating, air conditioning vent there, bathroom there, electrical switch there. So you got to try to figure out and get above to see exactly where that problem is. So stay tuned. We'll go in the attic, see if we can find that leak, and then I'll show you pictures on the outside roof, because this roof is, that's my best guess, it's probably the roof. A lot of angles, asphalt and metal in the eaves, in the corners, because it's very steep and a lot of angles to this roof. So my best guess is we just had snow and ice, so it might have broke some caulking loose or something and water got behind it. But let's see if we can find it. Okay, this is the attic. And look at lots of angles. I don't know if you can see all these angles in the attic here. But this should be the vent that I pointed out below. The ceiling fan is probably under that plywood there. So I'll have to pull that up to look. As I'm looking up here, I don't really see any water. Of course, a lot of times you'd think it'd be the condensation pan under the heating and air conditioning, which is new, about 6 months old, but there's no water in that pan. So we'll have to pull up that plywood and see what's underneath it. Stay tuned. And just a heads up, you need to go in your attic at least twice a year and check it out and look for any problems. Doesn't matter how old you are, young, if you own a house, you need to check it out. But let me pull this piece of plywood and see what's underneath it. Okay, water spots, you just can't ignore them. So I went up in the attic. I couldn't find a water leak, you know, on top of the drywall or any drips or anything. I called the roofer. It wasn't heating and air conditioning system. I called the roofer. He came here, and I showed him exactly where the ceiling fan was, where the water spot was, and he's familiar with this house. He's been here, a real great guy, and he said it was probably an ice dam. Since I'm in South Carolina, it snowed with ice. Water may have backed up and then dripped through the ridge vent, which is the top of the roof, which more than likely is what happened, and water drip. He said there's nothing you can do about that. But to get rid of the water spot now, Kilts, which is oil-based. I got the oil-based one, but it's a mess. Ruins the brushes unless you use paint thinner or mineral spirits. And then I'll put a couple coats of ceiling flat white paint on. But I already put one coat of kilts on there. I'm hoping that's enough to cover it up, and then I'll paint it white, and hopefully that solves the problem. Stay tuned, we'll see. Thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, share the information. You just can't ignore water spots. Okay, so it's painted. So we'll see when it dries, see what it looks like, and have to monitor it. Stay tuned, folks. The water spots, you just can't ignore them. You have to track them down, what caused it, or you have massive problems. But as you saw in the past videos, I went in the attic, looked for the problem, contacted an expert who had a logical reason, called an ice dam. South Carolina, snowed, ice, backed up probably over the ridge vents on the peaks, and water might have dripped in. That was a dark spot. But it's fixed now.